but I knew I wanted to be my own boss.
All major real estate brokerages colluded to artificially inflate agent commissions.
I'm gonna keep it a bug. At least in California, like
Right.
they don't get no love. I'm trying to remember the I closed deal, bro.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good. How has your age played a factor? You think it's helping you or hurt you?
California is, he try to save you for everything, you know. So like,
Right.
if you're in foreclosure, you have so much time and so much options to like save yourself.
Nobody
right?
can throw you a home. This isn't Oprah.
They don't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what we're talking about. We do this every day.
She's now TC. She was supposed to be
Why are you mad? Because you made a bet. You can't negotiate with yourself. Track where the money's going. You know.
Actually, that's a good one right there. Track where the money's going. A longtime realtor, good friend of mine. JR, welcome to the show.
Man, it's great to be here. I appreciate the invite.
I'm in the real estate and the real estate of mine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 2 of the Real Estate of Mind podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you taking the time out to spend some time with us here. Today, I got a special guest for y'all. I got my boy, JR Harrison. Longtime realtor, good friend of mine. JR, welcome to the show.
Man, it's great to be here. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, of course.
So good, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Again, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. So for the audience, JR, we're gonna just talk a little bit about you to start, talk about your journey and talk about your path and how you got to where you're at. Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk about a little bit of market news at the end. That big story that we were talking about before. Yeah. We'll talk about that just for the audience. So JR, if you could just start by telling the audience, kind of just where you grew up, where you went to school, and kind of like your upbringing a little bit.
Yeah, so I basically grew up in Downey, but I'll say Downey, Bellflower, Lakewood, Long Beach, like that area. Normal kid, like played sports growing up and stuff.
Yeah, big basketball fan, right?
Yeah, but played basketball my whole life, to be honest. So
yeah,
it wasn't until like maybe 18 where my life completely switched. I was like, oh, basketball is like not it, you know? But
what happened at 18?
Well, like 18, or 17, I was graduating high school, and I was gonna go to college to play basketball. But it was like politics, and I was gonna go to Dominguez Hills and walk on, but then
the high school,
Dominguez Hills College.
Oh, okay.
Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Yeah, okay.
And the coach say one thing. In the summertime, you get there, it's a different story. They said they got more freshmen, so I'm like...
You tried to walk on?
Yeah, because I had they knew who I was. I was going to the workouts and stuff, so they knew who I was, but...
This politics stood in the way of that, and you're like, dang,
they got more freshmen than they were supposed to, so I get it, like, we were recruiting these people, so I get that. And I wasn't about to waste another year in college for basketball when I already was kind of getting over it.
Yeah.
So I just let it go,
So then what'd you do? What did you do after
I was just in school. I was in school, had a girlfriend, and
you went to another college? You didn't go there?
No, I stayed at Dominguez Hills.
Okay.
But I wanted to go to ASU straight out of high school, but I was like, because I was undecided and basketball was all I knew, I went to Dominguez Hills, and then that
cool.
Didn't really work. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna
cool.
Move on.
Well, I know, obviously, as we know, JR, you're a realtor now, and I believe I met you through your mother, who's also a realtor. Yeah. So did she kind of, how was your mother involved in you kind of becoming a real estate agent?
So, my mom, like growing up, I seen her in the business.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really know too much about real estate, what was going on, but I remember I was in the car with her, and she was asking for names to start her own brokerage, and I gave her the name. And that was kind of like the first thing that I remember about real estate. And then she had an office, and I would be there sometimes, but I didn't know what was going on. Right. But fast forward later on, I was in college, and I didn't really know what field I wanted to go into after college. But I knew I wanted to be my own boss, and real estate was something that I was familiar with. I was just figured I'll jump into that right out of college, and then I'll kind of decide what I'm gonna do after.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's why you became a real. That was kind of the point of my original question. So did your mom groom you to become a realtor, or did you kind of just? Is that why you wanted to become a realtor? Or did you kind of find it on your own?
To be honest, it's kind of on my own. Like I said, I want to be my own boss, right? And then my mom has a family business as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I graduated in 2020, so we were in the pandemic. We were locked, you know,
Right.
and I felt like there wasn't a lane for me in the family business.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm gonna just go dive into real estate because
Right.
it's all on me at that point. And another brokerage kind of messaged me at the right time, and I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna do everything my way. I'm gonna jump into the deep end. I'm gonna figure it out by myself. So
Right.
that's how I got into it, really.
So that brokerage you're with now, is that the original brokerage that you
Yeah.
started with?
Yeah, Onyx Realty.
And how long have you been with them?
Since 2020.
So 2020. So
Yeah,
we're
it's 3 years.
Three and a half years.
Yeah, 3-4 years. Yeah.
So, but yeah, prior to starting real estate, you said you wanted to become your own boss, right?
Yeah.
What was the other own boss options?
Well, like, I mean, my goal is to like just start a business that I'm passionate about
Right.
and just grow it from the ground up and like see it to the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, until I have that like vision, that passion, you know, I wanted to do real estate,
Mm-hmm.
but then real estate ended up becoming like my passion, and I see that what I'm doing is still like kind of more my purpose in life, like helping people out. I'm doing it in real estate, so to me they mesh well. So
Cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with what I'm doing right now.
Well, I know. Look, man. For me, when I first met you, you were, you know, wise beyond your years for sure. I know. I told you that before, but you know, you're a young hustler, and you're successful in this space. How were you able to become? You know, I think you're pretty successful, to be honest with you. I know I'm talking to your mom. I give your mom props on raising you and all that stuff. So, how did you become as successful as you are in this space so quickly? Because, bro, 2020. You know, we had the pandemic. Rates were good. Deals were kind of flying a little bit, especially 2021. But yeah, did you do anything special basically to get to that point or to get the deals flowing? You know, especially for the young audience out there. If there is a young audience out there watching. You know, JR's, you're Gen Z.
Yeah.
So you're Gen Z. Gen Z.
I'm 24.
Yeah,
25. 25. Yeah.
Yeah, Gen Z are kicking ass. So how'd you do that?
So to be honest, like I remember when I started, I just worked my ass off basically, like because I had nothing else to do. You know what I mean? We were locked up in the pandemic, so instead of like just doing nothing, wasting all that time. I remember it was April. We couldn't go nowhere. I was just on Instagram trying to DM people. Like, I didn't know what to do. Nobody told me how to find my business or nothing. So I just did what I figured out, you know, and just worked. And then I never turned down any business. Like when I started, it don't matter what. Anybody who wanted to work with me, I did it, you know. I worked with it. I wanted to get experience.
So you just started hitting up your sphere, basically DMing people
sphere
on Instagram.
Influence, yeah, Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, start trying to make a little post, little content.
Small stuff, nothing crazy, basically.
And then my broker, he did hook me up with something called like Op City.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, I'm familiar
right?
with it. But yeah.
So that was what gave me my first 2 deals, to be honest. I remember my first year of real estate, I only did 2 deals.
And that was 2020?
That was 2020. I only did 2 deals. And then the next year,
2021?
I did 10. 10? Yeah, 10.
That's like 5 times as much.
Yeah, but like it was 10 real deals. Like that was like, my first 2 deals were mobile home deals.
Okay.
Yeah, so I remember the money I made too. It was everything.
You got to start somewhere. No, I know.
No, I've never, it's all good, you know.
But you were just talking about how you are young. We talked about your Gen Z. Do you think that helped you? Do you think it helped or hurt you in becoming, not becoming a realtor, but kind of gaining clients? Like, because, I mean, I could tell you a quick story. When I was young in the business, I was actually younger than you when I first started, and I tried to do real estate for like a year. And for me, I think it hurt me. I was really young and I didn't really have the experience. And for me, like people didn't really take me too seriously. Like, I don't know, they just like, they had me like show them houses and just, you know, kind of open doors and things of that nature. And, you know, I was getting a lot of flack from my family. And actually some friends that were out there like, oh man, go get a real job. You ain't making anything. You're not closing no deals. Go get a job. Yeah. So anyway, how has your age played a factor? You think it's helping you or hurt you?
To be honest, I feel like my age did not help me at all. Like, I feel like it hurt me because, I mean, I'm a young black dude, right? In real estate. And I feel like it's definitely rare to see, but me being at my age, they think I don't know anything.
Right.
Right. So I remember when I was newer into it, I would always try to like overcompensate and act like I knew everything, right? But I mean, you get experience and then you understand your lane and like you get comfortable with who you are and like now Like I don't feel like it impacts me at all.
It's night and day, basically.
Almost. Like
Yeah.
I had a phone call today with a client, and she was like, "Oh, I seen your picture," and I haven't heard this in a while. Like I feel like my age hasn't affected me at all, but I heard it today. I was like, and she was saying that my picture looked young, or I look younger. I'm like, yeah. Then I told her about my experience, and like she's like, oh. By the end of the call, she was like, yeah, you're the one I want to go with, and
you're it. I pick you.
Yeah, like I have a really good feeling about you, and
yeah.
And yeah, it's because I got comfortable, and yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you about that story, but I mean another story when I first started. Same thing. I had like a mentor. This mentor, what she made me do is I was actually working.
I've seen it. I read it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was working in Long Beach, and for me to gain clients, she had me just knocking on doors. And North Long Beach, which, I mean, it's a little hood.
A little bit,
yeah. Little.
I mean,
but anyway, but she had me knocking on doors. These people didn't want to see me. Had me knocking on doors. The dogs are barking. And she was supposed to be my mentor. But she really didn't help me do anything. And I think mentors are lacking in this space.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a mentor right now that's kind of helped you a little bit, or you kind of just picked it up on your own?
I mean, I don't have I want to say I have a designated mentor, but I mean, I have for example, my mom, she knows the business, but
there you go. Yeah.
My broker, he's been very helpful in my development. But I wouldn't say that somebody's designated as my mentor. I remember last year, 2 years ago, I was looking for a mentor, and I mean, I never really found.
They're hard to find, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants a huge cut. Everybody wants a big piece of the pie, and but they don't want to put in the work. Like my last guest on this show, we interviewed Arshawn. Arshawn I kind of mentored him, and I just think that I never quote unquote mentor. I didn't even know I was mentoring him. He was just honestly for me, it was somebody, because I was also young at the time. I was I was still in my 20s, and he just gave me somebody to kind of almost just somebody to talk to and do the business with, and to kind of have somebody there with me. But nowadays, man, it's really hard to find a mentor, and there's all these coaches online.
Right. Oh, they got courses.
They got courses, and they're asking for thousands of dollars and stuff like that.
No, that's everywhere. I think mentors are really hard to find, but it takes a certain type of person to be a mentor. I think
it does.
You got to be selfless, and you actually got to care about the person you're helping. But most people, tend to like you said, in your situation, they were taking half of the,
I don't remember, but it was a huge cut. And the point being is that we weren't again, she wasn't earning her cut. That's not what I felt like.
She wasn't doing much for you.
She wasn't doing much for me. She was making me door knock, and then I mean, this was it was back in the day, but it was still, she was making me go to Starbucks locations and putting my card there and putting my, so Starbucks has a clipboard next to the door. You put your card there, you put the flyer there, trying to get people to come to first time home buyer seminars. But dude, if we were online back then, and this isn't that long ago, social media was still there. This is 2012. Social media obviously isn't what it is today, but I think Facebook was around. But if I was on Facebook doing marketing back then, I think I would be at a way different place than I am today.
Yeah.
Again, just this, I mean, door knocking in general. I mean, again, I'm not hating on you agents that are door knocking. I still think it's a great way of generating business, but she was kind of for me. I felt like she was using me. She was using me like a little young workhorse, and then I come back to the office and kind of just report to her. And anyway,
you didn't feel like you were learning or developing enough. Enough support.
I didn't. She did have an office actually by the in the Belmont Shores area, so I was using her space and things like that. And funny stories, I just got into a transaction. She found out, that I've kind of taken a step in my career. And she's literally taken a huge step back. She's now a TC. She was supposed to be, And for TCs, she's, so that's a transaction coordinator. There's nothing wrong with it, but she's taken a step back from sales, and she used to be this hotshot real estate agent. And now she's a TC working for real estate.
And now you own your own lending office.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I take a step back, I took a step forward, she took a step back type of thing. So hindsight's 2020, it was the right move, and just finding the right mentor was tough, man.
I think it's hard to figure out who's there to help you out. Like finding genuine people in general, like it just in life is like hard to find.
It is hard, yeah.
And like it's not easy to tell who's really there for you, who's not.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you on that, and I've been up and down it. I've been through it.
Yeah.
And then again, trying to find. We're talking about genuine people. There's a big. I mean, I think you're a genuine person, but finding genuine real estate agents is tough in this business because right now, I mean, me and you have had a lot of trouble even with our clients with affordability. So affordability is kind of something I want to, kind of brush on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge issue. Again, it's a huge issue with us. Actually, a client that we, I'm not going to mention their name, but we're just working with them. The husband works for the city. I believe the wife is some type of teacher or counselor and things like that. And they have legitimate jobs, man. They have super respectable. I think they have pretty good credit. They have a little bit of money saved up, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
just the income.
Do you have any? Yeah. So they have to live in LA, man. They got to live in LA. All the jobs are in LA.
Right.
Not everybody could be remote and live in Timbuktu over there. They got to live in LA, right?
It's tough.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you have any ideas. I know I ran it by you before, but what are the ideas about people living in LA? What can we do? I don't know about as lenders. What can if government politicians are listening, or if somebody that could actually make a difference basically is listening out there? We're having an affordability issue in LA. There's a ton of jobs. There's a ton of opportunity here, but we need to get people into these homes. And the low wage workers, those are the workers that we need to see.
It's not even low wage. It's like this is regular. This is good money anywhere else.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Same wage.
You're absolutely right.
To Kansas, they're good,
Yeah, this couple makes
it's about like 80K?
80, 90,000.
Yeah.
Between that, and they're having trouble getting into a condo. They don't even have a special car. She just bought like a new, I think it's a Civic. She said she bought something, basic car.
It's very relatable to pretty much regular America.
It's tough. Yeah. So again, if you have any, what are your ideas? What are your thoughts about the affordability? I don't know if you have any. It's a tough. Even the politicians and all these kind of people can't figure it out. So
I mean,
besides government handouts, everybody wants a government.
Everybody wants the assistance.
Nobody can throw you a home. This isn't Oprah. Ain't nobody gonna give you a home.
I mean, I really don't have an answer. Like, if maybe they build more housing, or I mean, I have no. To be honest, I couldn't tell you. Like, the inventory is low. I mean, inventory is low, and the demand's high. Prices go up. That's just economics,
Yeah, but wages haven't increased.
Yeah,
wages haven't increased. What that Dream for All program that came out?
Yeah,
it's going to be something similar to that. I mean, that's just my quick idea. That's
if they could keep that going, right?
The city of LA or the county of LA or whatever it is, they have to pretty much give you a house.
Yeah,
and not give you a house. They have to give you a down payment for a house or a huge. If they can give you 50% of the house or gift you 50% of the house, then they own basically 50% of your house. And now houses are half off.
Yeah, and if you do what you're supposed to do when you live in a house, like you're not trying to turn this into a money grab. But like if you need housing, and the government maybe owns half. I think that's a good idea. Like the government owns half, and you stay in it for 5-7 years, and you know what I'm saying. The equity goes up. Like the government maybe gets that money back. Then everybody kind of wins, but. I mean, I think that's a good idea.
No, because we need these employees. These employees are but even the regular people working like the restaurant jobs, and obviously like counselors and teachers are big ones. Even firefighters are struggling. I know firefighters make good money, but I ran into a firefighter, cops. They're even kind of struggling, and they make good money as well. Just the part-time workers, warehouse workers. And some nurses I'm running into like LVNs are struggling, and they need to work at the hospital. They can't be remote. Again, they have to work kind of in their local market. Yeah. So yeah, man, I can think that's pretty much my idea.
Yeah, they could figure out some type of loan program where, like you said, like they have equity, so the payment's not an arm and a leg. Yeah. Then that's the answer right there.
But that's the city, and then that was the other state with the Dream for All was California. Yeah. But I mean. I don't know the numbers. I don't have them in front of me, but California supposedly has a surplus in their budget, and that's where they got that money. But California always has money for some reason. So yeah, maybe they could use that money for housing, and also push these bills through, these affordable housing bills. I've been reading online. They're taking forever to go through. There's a project out in LA that's taken like 12 years to build. It's an affordable housing project. It's going to be apartments, but still,
Yeah.
it's an affordable housing project that's, I could send you the article when we get off, but yeah, it's just taken forever for that to get built. And I know we talked a little bit, so we talked a little bit about affordability there, and the LA market and things like that. But we're almost done with the year.
Yeah. Couple more weeks.
Couple more weeks. I mean, do you have any New Year's goals?
So I like just reflected on like everything yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do have some goals. I think obviously with that lawsuit, the NAR lawsuit.
Yeah, we're about to get into that. Yeah.
That
could change things.
I mean, I was already shifting that way anyway, but with that, it kind of came at the right moment, like so that kind of helps push what I was already thinking about doing. But definitely just you always gotta adjust and adapt and keep going for more. Like I used to want to figure out my groove and just chill in my groove, and I could do that for 10 years, and so you always gotta keep getting better and better and better and growing. So
that's what we had to do this year, 2023, in the mortgage business when rates shot up to almost 8% like 2 months ago. We had to shift the way we do business to stay alive, keep the clients going, keep business, keep the lights on, basically keep business going. So I mean, we were just talking about 2024. I mean, where do you see the market? Where do you see the market going? Are you just talking about inventory?
Yeah.
Where's inventory going to go? Supply and demand, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I see prices going back up. I see rates coming down because we can't freeze the economy forever. To be honest, it didn't really freeze it much in the real estate market. There's still buyers buying, even with 7-8% rates, still buying. So that didn't stop it. When they drop the rates down, prices are probably going to go up. I don't see where inventory is going to come from because everybody has 2-3% interest rates, so there's no influx of or need to sell.
Yeah.
Like maybe foreclosures, or I'm not sure how big that market is, but I mean, California they try to save you for everything, so like if you're in foreclosure, you have so much time and so much options to like save yourself. So which is good, but
so you think prices are still going to go up?
I think prices are going to stay the same or definitely go up.
Especially LAOC, these are like real hot.
I don't see anything bringing the pricing down.
Yeah, I think it's just the jobs that have kept these areas alive. There's just a ton of opportunity here.
It's LA, man. It's like how many more cities are bigger than LA? New York's competing with it, but what else?
I think it is just New York.
Yeah. So like everybody always.
I mean, the metropolitan area. It's just New York is the only other area, like metropolitan area, that's in the United States that's bigger than LA.
I always say like that's why buying in LA or buying in California, really Southern California, LA areas, like you can't lose. Because it don't matter how many people complain about the pricing or anything about LA, there's always going to be more people moving here or want to come here versus moving out, Right. Even though, like, everybody said, I'm going to Texas, I'm going to Arizona, I'm going to Nevada.
Right.
Everybody said that. Why do we still have so many buyers buying in California then,
It's the opportunity.
With the high rates. Because that's what I'm saying, it's a safe investment in California regardless.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. A little bit about the market news and kind of a big lawsuit that's kind of going on right now. I know we kind of brushed on it over the phone earlier. The NAR Law Suit. For you guys that are listening that don't know and what we're going to talk about really quickly, NAR was sued. NAR is the National Association of Realtors. Apparently, if I didn't really know this, but they're the largest trade association in the United States, and they got a lot of pull in Congress. They got a ton of lobbyists out there. There was a class action lawsuit between Sitzer versus the National Association of Realtors. So what they were saying, they alleged that NAR, Keller Williams, Anywhere Real Estate, formerly known as Realogy, Remax, Home Services America, all major real estate brokerages colluded to artificially inflate agent commissions.
Yeah.
So what they're saying, they're basically saying that, again, man, I don't really get it, but they're basically saying that people, they forced sellers' hands basically to sign contracts, and now they're paying 6%, and they should be able to negotiate.
So this is what happened, man. Like, basically, how I look at it, when I learned about it, how I perceived it was, a bunch of sellers are mad because they didn't negotiate better with their realtor. Like the realtor was basically saying, like, let's say you're a seller. I'm telling you, hey, how much do you want to offer the buyer agent? I recommend you offer it 3%. And then you'll say, oh, I want to offer less. And then they'll say, no, if we offer it more, we're probably gonna get more buyers and it's gonna help you sell the property.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a conversation somewhat like that. They're saying that the realtors, colluded with, I guess they're saying like basically the listing agent colluded with buyer agents to like help keep commission high. How I look at it is, I think it's just poor negotiation because, I mean, I don't know what was going on in those conversations, obviously, but like you negotiate the deal. If you think the agent is charging you too much, go to a different agent. Get a different opinion. But
it's a free
why
market.
are you mad because you made a bet? You can't negotiate with yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me that they're mad because their agent told them to pay the buyer agent more money. But you gotta understand, like in certain markets, like for example, middle America, right, where the home price is
this
like
was in I think this
Missouri.
is Missouri.
Yeah, like the homes is over there is like 100K, 150, 200, 300K is like 300K is like $1 million property out there, right? Like, so these agents aren't getting paid. For example, our market. So 3% kind of makes sense over there. 2% makes sense over there. 3% makes sense over there.
Yeah, to make a living wage, basically.
Yeah, and they were complaining about that. They felt like the agents were working together to keep commissions high. My thing is, if you offer less, an agent's probably going to tell you, that may affect what happens with the buyers. But I mean, this market with low inventory, the buyers want to buy whatever, and your agent's probably going to show you any property to make a deal. If you're not selling anything, you don't make no money regardless. So an agent's gonna show you what you want to see, what the buyer wants to see. Right. So there's no way it's stopping you from selling your home if you offer less, technically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's just a bunch of nonsense, low key. Yeah. Yeah.
It is, man, it is. And you know what's funny is I talked to an agent recently and I had to mention she had no idea what was going on. So she doesn't even if you're not in the real estate business. And actually, this woman is in the real estate business, and she probably does. She does quite a decent amount of business with me, so she does business, and she doesn't know. So what I'm trying to say is, the viewers out there, you probably wouldn't know about this, but what they're trying to do, and the rumor out there is that they're trying to get buyers
to pay
the buyer's commission. So I mean, what do you think this means? If it goes through and it's finalized and judged, whatever, all that stuff. What do you think it means for buyers going forward?
I mean, I think it's a whole bunch of uncertainty in the real estate world. Because if you're a buyer agent, right, like I think right now, like half of my deals, if not a little bit more than half of my deals, are on the buyer side. Mm-hmm. Now you gotta negotiate your deal, negotiate your commission. Like the whole commission is just changing on that side when before it was already pretty much established for you.
Right.
But first time buyers, I think, are gonna deal with it the worst. Because first time buyers, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. At least in California, like, they don't get no love, like in the market. We're in California, like, buyers got 20% or coming in with cash. Like, a lot of buyers have money.
They got the upper hand.
But the first time buyers don't, and a lot of times they get like killed off in the negotiations and bidding because they don't have the money. So imagine a buyer who doesn't even have money for a down payment. Now they got to pay their agent. You see what I'm saying? I think there's other ways that the buyer agent can figure out how to get paid, right? There's other ways to negotiate. So I wouldn't think it's the end of the world, but if that's the route that it goes, what is the buyer agent going to do?
I have no idea. I don't know what the buyer agents are going to do. And another thing that I hate a lot in real estate is when you have buyers going straight to a listing agent. Yeah. I've had some of you buyers out there. You're working with one of my agents, or this never happened, I don't think, between me and you, but they're working with you and you've showed them a ton of homes, and then they go directly to the real estate agent and cut out. So I just don't want that to happen, because at the end of the day, I get it for experienced buyers in my work, but for my first time guys, my first time girls trying to buy a home, man, it's not easy. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about real estate. They never bought a house before, and they're learning from their Uncle Joe at the barbecue about real estate.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the best place to learn about contracts, negotiation, and just a way for you to get a better deal. I always tell these people that go to the listing agent as well, they're not on
Like,
your
you think you're gonna
side.
get a good deal?
Yeah, they work for the seller.
Yeah.
They don't work for you.
They work for the other side. So why would you
Yeah.
think they have your back? Like, why would you not want somebody who is like specifically working only with you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I tell this to my buyers. You know, you have a buyer agent and a listing agent.
For
The
a
listing
reason.
agent works for the seller. Like, yes, he can be he or she can be a little bit maybe greedy and try to double in the deal, but you're not gonna get a better deal by working with them. You see, you're not gonna get the same fight in an agent if he works for both sides or she works for both sides. It's not gonna happen.
No, you're not going to get.
Yeah, they don't know you. They don't know you unless, like you said, they're an experienced buyer who knows what they're doing. Then maybe they can handle themselves a little bit better.
Right.
But first time buyers probably gonna get the short end of the stick, and then it's just over.
Yeah, and the first time buyers, not only they're the majority of the market, the people that are first time buyers. So again, I don't know what's going to happen with these first time buyers. The article that I was reading talking about this, they were talking about some realtors offering an hourly rate or a flat fee. Guys, I know that's a cool article. I'll put the article in the link below on the YouTube.
Yeah.
But I mean, ain't nobody gonna pay an hourly fee. I mean, they don't have the money.
Like, this is the thing. I feel like a realtor is the most disrespected. Like real estate, like a realtor is the most disrespected profession because we do so much for our clients, or at least I do. I do so much for my clients.
I know, man. I mean,
right? And well, they don't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what we're talking about. We do this every day. Like, if you're sick, you go to the doctor, and you feel like the doctor knows what they're talking about, and you listen to the doctor. Well, I mean, nowadays they don't do that, right?
Yeah, no.
But
because now we got something called the internet, WebMD.
Yeah, and Google's gonna tell you everything you need to know, right?
Pretty much.
Because you're gonna understand all the language, right?
Yeah.
No, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're in a legal battle, you go to a lawyer, right? Because the lawyer knows the law. You don't know the law, so. How I look at it is, do you know the real estate market? Do you know what an appraisal, do you know anything about that? You probably don't. So you want somebody you trust to take you through the process. And that's what we do.
Exactly.
But I feel like they don't understand the value in a realtor and being, loyal to.
I feel the same way, man. It's funny, you're preaching to the choir. I feel the same way about a lot of people. They don't appreciate, mortgage brokers or mortgage lenders in general. I feel the same way.
Yeah. I think they think we get paid hourly or something like that. Because like we hustle, we earn by commission. You know what I'm saying? So when you are happy, we're happy.
Yeah.
When you get your house, that's when we get paid. We don't get paid to show you a home for 2-3 months. We don't get paid for nothing. We paying gas.
Yeah.
We lose money paying gas.
Yeah, they don't understand.
We invest time and effort and energy into you, but they think, oh, this person has a better deal. I'm gonna go to them, and not even knowing they're probably getting screwed.
Probably.
Like, I mean, I like pretty much never have a client leave me. Right, I'm blessed by that.
Yeah, that's a blessing for sure.
Like I can't give you stories where a client did me dirty, right? But I feel like anybody like who does or would want to leave me, like, or go to a different agent because they're telling them what they want to hear. I feel bad for them because I'm like, they don't know what they're going into, right? Usually it's a first time buyer. They don't understand what's going into. They're just being sold what they want to hear. So I feel bad for them because they're probably going to end up getting finessed, or a bad deal somewhere.
Yeah, that's because they don't got a good agent, man. That's why you here. I feel you.
Yeah.
But back, like, kind of still talking about that lawsuit a little bit. What do you think? I mean, if it does go through, what do you think it means for agents? Because not all agents can get listed. I mean, like, there's only so many. We're just talking about inventory. We're talking about there ain't too many listings to go around. You need to have buyers. I mean, you need to have somebody representing a buyer. And I hope it doesn't end up with maybe attorneys representing. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest with you. But
I don't know who's gonna represent the buyers if they can't figure out that commission part. Yeah. But I think buyer agents got to get better, to be honest. Like, because I hear how some listing agents talk about buyer agents. They think buyer agents don't do anything, right? And I don't know if it's because they're from their point of view, when they have a buyer, they probably don't do anything. Because they probably got a buyer who was qualified, 20% down payment from open house that they had, and it was an easy transaction because they just took him to a house. But A first-time buyer is not the same process or experience. So there's a lot of coaching and mentoring you have to do to a client like that, right? Which I think maybe sometimes when you don't work that side, you can't see it. So yeah, I mean, it's just, it's different point of views that I think everybody needs to understand. It's being forgotten about in this lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking a little bit about, I mean, do the markets, are markets different in different areas in terms of like, do you think like the higher end market might not need a buyer's agent, or do they need it more, or like lower end properties need, or you think it's all the same, or?
I'm gonna say first time buyer markets for sure need a buyer agent.
And those are usually probably going to be lower priced homes.
And that's the ones who's gonna get hurt the most.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford it. If they have to pay their agent commission, they can't afford it.
No, they can't.
Right? The people who, I feel like the price range doesn't matter as much as the experience of the buyer. Because if you've already bought a home, bought 1, 2, 3, 4 homes before, you know what to expect for the most part. And you probably have money in your pocket where you're okay. Like you're probably gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? If you spend an extra 10K, 20K, you're probably okay. A first time buyer, it's gonna be like, a shit show for a lot of them. A shit show.
Yeah, well, money makes everything easier in life.
Yeah.
So, and when in real estate, I mean, a lot of it is about money. So it makes it easier.
I mean, that's what most first time buyers struggle with. That's what the first time buyer programs are.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a lower mortgage. It's down payment assistance, really.
Exactly. No, 100%. Yeah. I know you're just talking about first time home buyers a little bit. Kind of brushing up on these kind of piggybacking on first time home buyers. I mean, I want to talk a little bit about the market for first time home buyers, and especially in our area. If you're a first time home buyer today, do you think there's a better area? Look, I know a lot of people are going out to the IE. Is that where they should be looking? I know we're talking about the job market. The jobs are in LA, but the IE is kind of, it's popping right now. There's a lot of new businesses opening up. There's
new construction over there.
New construction. I heard, way out in the IE, actually technically the high desert, Victorville. I heard, I think Boeing just got up there. They're doing the train, the train from Victorville to Vegas. That's going to open up jobs. What do you think is a good first time home buyer market for people that want to own a home? I know me and you have worked with people that are, they just bought in Ontario, was it? The condo, the townhome. I don't want to mention her name, but the townhome.
To be honest, I'm trying to remember. I closed a lot of. I closed deals, bro.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. I remember your transaction.
Was it Affordability, that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or was it Ontario?
Oh, the single family?
Ontario Ranch. Was it a single family or a townhome?
We closed a single family in
Ontario. But she moved from the woman.
That was Hooper Valley.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah. Somewhere off the 15.
Yeah.
And
it's a nice home, though. Yeah.
It's a nice home. So is that the trend? You think that's what first-time home buyers are doing? Because that's what everybody we talk to.
I feel like
is that a good area for them to go to? Is that the move?
I think that area was, to be honest, I think it's good because a lot of those areas are still developing. So you're getting in early. It's like if you, let's just say like a stock came out, right? Like an IPO, and you got in early, but you believed in it, right? You're gonna get rewarded later. Right, but most people don't have the vision. Most people just see, oh, this is what it is now, right? But like Victorville, like you said, Hooper Valley, I think is a place that's growing. Or even down low, like Hemet area, Menifee, there's a lot of new construction down there.
Yeah,
like there's potential, and I think it's going to change in the next couple of years. I think Paris has changed a lot over the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you can invest into an area where you see that money's being spent, and they're developing, building shopping centers, maybe schools or new jobs going over there.
Yeah.
It's not too bad because you're going to get a nice home, which you probably can't afford in the LA area. And then it's probably newer schools, newer housing. So more qualities over there. So I think it's so good to be open to it. I don't think it's an answer for everybody, but I think it's good to be open to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what you're thinking. Because that's kind of what we ran into is those people are kind of leaving the LA market, because
that or like you buy less, like buy a condo or townhouse, But even those is still the same price, still the same mortgage you're paying.
Yeah, I know.
Roughly.
But it's also tough to downgrade basically.
Yeah.
Because if you're living in a nice rental in LA, you're paying what? You're paying $4 or $5 for a rental, which is, I know it's a lot, but
they do it.
but they do it, and then to get a 4 or 5 grand mortgage, you probably are going to downgrade. So unless you have a ton of money down, it's going to most likely be a downgrade. It is what it is.
It's gonna be a downgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
But like,
just temporary.
you're getting rewarded though, because
Yeah.
probably 3-5 years, because you invested in California, you're probably gonna have a lot of equity, and then now you can buy something in a nicer area
Right.
later.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But it's like that long term thinking that it's hard to get that concept in everybody's head. Everybody wants now, and then I feel like people in general we're going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Instant gratification and stuff. So
No, totally. I always preach real estate as a long term game.
yeah,
So I'm with you on that.
renting is like a short term solution. It's like a band-aid, but it's not gonna last forever.
Mhm. I know when these first time home buyers can't buy. I know that sometimes they're looking at a state, and I know that you've done some stuff out of state. What do you think about? I know, look, California is kind of where it's at, and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
But what do you think about people that are looking to invest out of state, or why did you even? I know you invested out of state as well.
Yeah.
What was your reasoning for that, and do you recommend it to people?
So I think most people, when they say investing out of state, like they're probably planning to move there and live. And then I would say, if you're gonna do that, like make sure you do some research, because the pay's different. You got different natural disasters over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
If you go like to Florida, you got hurricanes. You don't have earthquakes. I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't got earthquakes.
Or I know Arizona has monsoons. Like I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
Nah.
it's great. It's different, right? It's different.
Arizona's the heat, man. That's the heat.
But no, like, they have like a season where it's like monsoon season.
I don't even know anything about that. So.
Right? And
there's news to me.
bro, you just be chilling, right?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, it's just a crazy hard rainstorm come out of nowhere. It's raining for like maybe 15, 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
And like it'll start flooding. Like, a lot of places start flooding in 20 minutes, and then it goes away.
But the jobs you just talked about, I think is the bigger thing about moving out of state.
Well, like, I think quality of life, because people don't understand how nice California or LA is until you leave, right? But yeah, affordability, like, at the end of the day, you want to buy a nicer house. They see Texas, see a nice house for $300K.
Yeah, but you're in Texas.
But then, like, I feel like it's easy to look at it online. You go over there, you're like, damn, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing as if you invested like far east in California.
Exactly. I've told people that before. Yeah.
Like you see the house looks brand nice on the internet. You go there and like, damn, this is it.
Yeah, but some people are going to Texas and Florida. People are going for not only for real estate, it's for politics. So that's why people are going out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far. I don't really want to get into politics, but that's the big reason why, or one of the big reasons, affordability and, the policies and politics that are being put into the state that these people that are moving that don't agree with, obviously.
Yeah, if it makes sense, it makes sense. But I just feel like the life is different. Like I had a dude, he was in Texas. Nice new apartment. He's paying whatever he's paying. He wanted to come back. He's from out here. He went out there. He said it was great. It was affordable.
How long did he go there for?
Like 3 years, something like that. A couple of years.
What was his issue with Texas?
He said there's nothing to do out there. He's a younger dude. He doesn't have a family.
No family?
No, like his family's out
He just moved to buy a house and live alone.
No, he's renting. I don't know if he went to school out there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure why he was out there, but he was out there. He came back. He said there was nothing to do out there.
Is he a buyer now? You got him on your list?
He was going to buy a home, or his dad wanted to help him buy a home. And he had opportunities, but I don't think he was ready to buy a home yet. And yeah, so he's kind of just renting right now. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, anyway, I know we went over that lawsuit a little bit. There's a lot of details about that lawsuit online. It's big. All the details are still getting released.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's also, I mean, I love you lawyers out there, but that thing smells of a money grab.
For sure.
For lawyers, because it's billions. It's what's going out there.
For sure.
So it has
they're getting paid real good. And like the crazy thing is the owners, who won the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Like, the money they're getting paid out.
They're getting paid like $2 grand or something.
I don't know how much
or
it is.
$3 grand. I forgot what it was.
But
because it's a small amount of money. I'm reading here that it's only.
Yeah. I hope it was worth it to them.
It's only 1.8 million, so it's not a lot.
I don't know how many families or people it was, but
they settled in court earlier for 140, and the new lawsuit 140 million, and the new lawsuit that just got settled is 1.8. So now they're a little over 140 million. And depending on the judge's decision, which hasn't been ruled yet, could get to over $5 billion. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And obviously you got a lawyer. A lawyer's doing this on contingencies, and if you guys don't know what contingency is, they're doing it based on getting this payout. So, and then you get a bigger portion of it. If they're at 30% of that, that's $1.5 billion to the attorneys. So,
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all they need. A lot of these lawyers, I've talked to a lot of attorneys. A lot of attorneys are waiting for like one big case to basically retire.
Yeah.
I just talked to a real estate attorney, and he was telling me the same. He's waiting for one case. Once it hits, he's out. He's an older gentleman, so he's kind of ready to say goodbye, basically. But
I don't know. You always gotta look at the bigger picture, man. Like,
that's the bigger
I
picture.
feel like you gotta track where
that money grab.
You gotta track where the money's going. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you understand what's really going on. Track where the money's going. You know,
Actually, that's a good one right there. Track where the money's going.
For everything, politics, everything. Track where the money's going. We see what the real agenda is.
Yeah, that's where the interests are for sure.
It's a story behind it, and then it's the money. You know, where's the money going? That's what everybody cares about.
No, that was great right there.
Yeah, that's facts though.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, JR, this is episode number 2. Thank you for joining me. You joined me on short notice, man. So I really appreciate that. Episode number 2.